Okay, Hannah, your next question.
Yeah, so this one's a bit more about the practicality of meditation. So Michelle asks, during meditation, I concentrate on my breath. However, I always feel so tired and unrested, and my mind is so active during meditation. How can I do it better?
Well, thank you, Michelle. That's a very useful, practical question. And I think many people would want to ask it and to think about it as well. First of all, there are different methods of meditation. Let me just make one short point first. First of all, is that there is a distinction between mindfulness, as it is taught very widely today, and meditation, although sometimes the language confuses them. But mindfulness, which comes from a Buddhist tradition, is essentially about preparing you for meditation. So preparing your body, preparing your mind, calming down, and so on. But the next step, and this is the important one which we're involved in, is meditation itself. And in meditation, we take the attention off ourselves. In mindfulness, the attention remains on yourself until you come to a certain level of calmness and quiet. And that's important, and it helps you a lot. But then the meditation really begins when you start to take the attention off your own thoughts and plans and memories and anxieties and fantasies and all of that jumble of monkey mind chatter that we have in our minds. So to do that, in the tradition that we teach from, and it's also a universal tradition, we take a single word or a short phrase and repeat this word or phrase gently but faithfully throughout the time of the meditation. So we sit down, we sit still, we close our eyes, and then we breathe normally, and we begin to recite interiorly, silently, a single word or a short phrase, and stay with the same word. You could call it a sacred word, a meditation word, a prayer word, or a mantra. So you stay with your mantra, you stay with your word all the way through the meditation, and you stay with the same word each time you meditate. And the effect of that is very wonderful. The word then begins to stabilize itself in you and to calm you down. It's like an anchor in a rough sea. So it gives you a point of balance and of stability and flexibility, but stability. So this is the way we teach meditation. And you'll find that when you first start to meditate, exactly what you describe can happen. You feel full of negative emotions. It might be restlessness, as you describe it, or fear, or anger, or some memory of some pain that you've been through in the past, or some anxiety about what's going to happen in the world and your job or the finances in the next phase of this crisis. So very naturally, that will be the first weather that you find. It's a bit like, I haven't been in a plane for more than 3 months, but it's a bit like being in a plane and the plane takes off, but then it has to go through maybe some turbulent weather conditions. And it may be knocked around a little bit, and that's why you have to keep your seatbelts on for the first part of the trip. But then when it gets above the clouds and it gets to the right, meteorological level, it just flies peacefully and stably, and you can get up and walk around. So it's the same with meditation. At first, it's as if you hit this turbulent weather, and don't give up. Don't give up. Just sit, keep the seatbelt on, and your mantra is a bit like your seatbelt. It will strengthen you and stabilize you and just keep you going. And then you'll find over time that the weather pattern in your mind becomes less turbulent, less anxious. And you'll see this as affecting the rest of your life too. You'll find that your mind is becoming less anxious, less cluttered, less uncontrolled, and you'll be less controlled by your negative emotions. You may, of course, we all feel frightened, we all feel sad, we all feel depressed at times, but these feelings won't overwhelm you so much. And this is the result of a gentle, steady practice. Meditation is a way of moderation. It's a middle way. It's not a way of extremism, but it is a discipline. And we often people don't like the word discipline, but no one's forcing you to do this. This is a discipline that you take on yourself because you realize the need for it. And we all know that we need discipline in our life. So here is a fundamental discipline of being, learning how to be. So what we teach then is this very simple method of repeating the word gently, continuously, and coming back to the word however many times you get distracted. And at first, you will feel a complete and total failure. You will feel, I can't even say my word for 2 seconds without thinking about something else. So this is where it's very helpful to meditate with other people from time to time, and online groups have multiplied immensely around the world in our community in recent months. People need and find real value in meditation together. So don't give up. And if you give up, okay, just come back to it and start again. Everybody's got their own learning pattern. But it is a learning process. But it's wonderful what you learn, what you're learning about yourself, what you're learning about the nature of reality. And for example, what you come slowly to realize is that the peace and the joy that we would like to have in our life is not found outside of ourselves. You don't find peace by fixing all the problems around you. And you don't find joy by getting all the things you want. The peace and the joy are part of our very beings. I would say, in my language, the presence of God within you. A Buddhist might say, this is our true nature. It amounts to the same thing.
So Father Don, that's great.